Welcome back, everybody. It is time that the Pomodoro returns, and we do this weekly thing that we had dropped off in the last week, where we try to speak in English for 30 minutes at a stretch. And let's see how it goes today. And so recently, I saw a video which talked about Mother Teresa in detail. It is from a 1995 show called Penn and Teller that was hosted by comedians Penn Jillette and Teller, whatever his name is, I don't know. They talk about Mother Teresa in this episode, and they talk about how she's not the saint that she's made out to be in public life. Like from a very young age, all of us have been taught about her mostly in the general knowledge subject, where we are told that she's from India. She's a Nobel Prize winner for peace from India, and this is what we have been told since our early childhoods. And uh, the this episode, the TV episode I talk about, it tries to break this myth of Mother Teresa being a saint in that sense. Um, firstly, we are shown a small footage of Christopher Hitchens talking, who is considered as one of the greatest intellectuals of the 20th century, if not of all time. Um, and so he talks about how Mother Teresa and everything, most that all things that we have heard about Mother Teresa till date is wrong, is false. Like, he's not saying most of the things are wrong; he's saying all of those things are wrong, and he says so because he believes that Mother Teresa is not interested in. She doesn't love the poor, but she loves poverty, and he goes on to explain why he says so. Because he said that when once he met her, he talked with her about her ideas, and she said that I'm not a social worker. I just work for the Lord, and my work is to expand the base of this cult, um, and to work for the institution that I work for. So so this is when it struck Christopher Hitchens that maybe Mother Teresa is not a saint after all. Uh, because if you have one look at her shelter home, the home for dying that she has in Calcutta, you'll see that the funds that she has allocated from many dubious places that are claimed later, that still this home for dying is not well equipped as it should have been. People are literally left to die because it is believed that they have to suffer, and suffering is the only way in which they can come closer to the Lord, which is termed as bullshit by Penn and Teller and um, Christopher Hitchens in the episode. So coming to the dubious places from which Mother Teresa got the money and the funds from. One of the places is some black oppressor of the blacks, who himself is a black. And there is a small photo of event where she's shown shaking hands with this person, and and um, and she also said about that event that it was a great lesson for me, which is shocking, and which also brings us to the topic about, do we need to hero worship or lady worship people, if I may say so, to people, because as they say, like that um, that now or sooner or later our heroes are going to disappoint us, and I feel that is very, very true. And they do disappoint us because they do not turn out as great and as superior as we dreamt them to be in our imaginations, and the reality is often disappointing. And that's why they say that never meet your heroes, unless I believe it's Rahul Dravid, because I believe he'll be every bit of the person you have imagined him to be. um, so that is one thing. The other thing, so I'll and this ever since I heard the statement, um, it has been very tough for me to have a hero whom I look up to, because day in and day out there is so much of information flooding in, that and so many of my heroes who partake in this fest of information, that some or the other, some of them really disappoint, and that is really bad. Okay. Yeah. um, that is one thing. uh, so yeah, it's been tough to have a hero. So I've been trying really really hard to have a hero in life. Hopefully, like Matthew McConaughey says, my hero is the person who is 10 years ahead of me. That guy, the 30-year-old me is my hero. The 40-year-old me is my hero. So that is also a great a great way to uh, you know think of a hero. That is one thing. And what else? Uh, it seems like we do not have much to talk about today. Why is it that it has happened so? It shouldn't be the case, right? Because like they say in intimate relationships, when they say that we don't have anything to talk about, that is the time maybe you should be reevaluating and reassessing your relationship. So is this the time that we have to reevaluate what this daily life of Pomodoro sessions is? I think that will be a couple of sessions down the road. But till then, we'll enjoy what we have. And so I'll begin with the updates of today. So surprisingly, I woke up very very early, because I've been trying this one thing where I do not see a screen before I go to sleep. Um, I keep the screen away and try to just sit still and just calm myself down and then go to sleep, rather than going in an agitated frame of mind. I go in a much calmer state of mind these days, and the sleep is better, I must say. And when you wake up, it doesn't feel like you need more sleep. It's like uh, uh, you feel fresh and recharged when you wake up, and that feels good. That is good. I think that should continue in the coming days also, but sometimes it's not to be. uh, so that was good, and because of that, all of the things that I planned for today till now have gone exactly as I had planned them to be. Um, so because I wanted to go for a walk and do a small jog, which I did. Come back, cook breakfast, then do some household work, cook lunch. I made some um, omelette for breakfast, and it turned out good. Turned out good. I flipped it well. It cooked well. So all of that was nice. It was nice and fluffy, golden brown on the exterior. So everything was perfect about that. After that, I did some household work, and then I started cooking lunch. I made khichdi as always, with two parts of dal and one part of rice this time. I had it on for a bit longer than I usually have it. I put it in for four whistles rather than the usual three that I go for. Then after that, I let it rest for like 45 minutes, and then when I opened it, voila! It was a nice creamy consistency, if I may say so, a very porridgey kind of, and I paired it nicely with a lime pickle, which is a sweet lime pickle. That is not the Mosambি pickle, but it is a lime pickle that is pickled, and then dipped into a sweet marinade. So that was good. I also I also saw um, the Black Friday movie again for the second time, I feel, and it was great. It was a nice second viewing, um, and I wasn't able to pick up on much that was new in this second viewing, but it was really nice. In fact, I didn't even realize when the movie finished. Uh, the chronology of the movie is so good that you just get hooked. And this was a very interesting observation that was picked up by someone I know, that watching an Anurag Kashyap movie is like skimming through a book. You start from the start, the and as you go ahead, you are actually going through chapters of a book. It feels like it. So uh, that is that. There's a like uh, as always, I'm always floored by Pawan Malhotra's acting in Black Friday as Memon, which is arguably one of the best performances of the 21st century now. Like arguably, like it is so good. It is so good, and he just keeps you in. Like it is so good to watch it on a small 15-inch screen. I just can't even imagine how good he would have been just in front of the camera, where the shooting crew is where the film crew is shooting the film. Absolutely amazing. That's that. Because the earliest I have seen him is in Pardes. He's Shah Rukh Khan's friend in that movie. So done a great job. And the latest that we have seen him do is in Bhag Milka Bhag, where he was the coach. He has done a very good job over there too. And in between, we saw him in Jab We Met. And then we saw him in some roles here and there. But he's been really, really good. So good as Tiger Memon. Like you feel the rage in him. You understand how he's trying to size up the people in front of him, and how he's in total command of the situation, not just as Tiger Memon, but also as Pawan Malhotra. That's great. That's great. Um, so, what are the other things? One of the other things is that is talked about in great detail is about the small shot of the small entry shot of Dawood Ibrahim, who is played by Vijay Maurya, and Gajaraj Rao is just waiting there. He's Dawood Panse, and he is here to meet Dawood Ibrahim, and he's gesturing in front of a glass door without knowing that Dawood is actually standing behind the door and can see him gesturing, but he doesn't know that Dawood is seeing him. So Panse is like, okay, thank you. I wanted to meet you, and all of that, blah blah blah, and just there is this great shot where just Vijay Maurya just impresses with his acting. And one of the small things that I picked up, that you can see the reflection of, you can't the actual in the actual shot, it is a back shot, and if you're just looking at the scene, you'll feel that you can't look at Daud's face. But I don't know if that this was intentional or not, but you can see a small reflection of the face of Vijay Moria in the door. So I'll just have to be back because my phone is ringing, as you must have known. Just a second. Yes, we are back. So I have to go somewhere after doing this live. So I was just talking about those arrangements. So, anyways, so I was talking about how it's a very very sly way of showing you Daud's face in the scene. Like only if you have an eye for it, you'll see that in the glass door. So that was a small Easter egg that I saw. Apart from that, apart from that, there's not been much happening around these days on the world front. In Mumbai, at least, the railway trains were opened on the 1st of Feb, and I think we haven't done a live episode from since January, since end of January. So, so it was opened, and so they have opened it strategically from the first train in the morning to so okay, so it is mostly opened in the non-peak hours from 12 to 4 in the afternoon, and in the evening from 9 to morning 7. So like, so whatever trains are there from night 9 to morning 7. So I feel it's a good move, but nobody will be able to work for normal hours if this schedule is to be followed, because if they have to leave home by 6, they won't be able to come back till 10, which is like a gruesome 14 hours. And will the workday get elongated because of this, or it will get totally shifted from a like 5 to 12 or a 5 to 2 kind of a system, so that people can work, which will be very messy. But let's see how it turns out in the coming days. Will the trains be opened in the peak hours? Because if that happens, that one act will signal the end of the pandemic, or god forbid, the start of a new one. Um, so So that's that. India has been playing England in Chennai, and it's the fourth day uh, of the first test, and in like England scored almost 600 runs, and it seemed like they would run away with the game. But gritty India just stood in the face of the opposition once again, like they did in Sydney and they did in at Brisbane at the Gabba. So they've done it again. Ashwin and Washington Sundar scoring a brilliant 85 not out in the end, and taking India to very close to not getting followed on. Um, um, in the test, and England chose to bat, and I think now the Indian bowling lineup finally found its groove, and we were able to dismiss like most of them in half a day's time now. Like at the time of speaking, 8 wickets of England have fallen down, and I feel if play goes on for some more time, a few more overs, we could wrap them up today. But common sense would be to let them bat and let them get through the day, because if we if Indians are forced to bat now, there's a high chance we'll be losing our openers straight away, and we would have to put in a Washington Sundar as a night watchman, and we have to bat the whole day tomorrow. Keeping those things in mind, uh, we need to tread cautiously, and let's see what happens. Um, I have to stop doing three things. I have to stop saying let's see what happens. I have to stop saying and let's see how it pans out. The same thing. Let's see how it pans out, and let's see how it works out, and let's see what happens. This one thing. The second thing is and that is that. This is the second thing that I should stop saying. The third one is the whatever the thing is. So let's see. Um, I did it again. Oops. I did it again. I shouldn't be doing it. So the second month of February, the 2021 is here, and I feel many of the people have had a shittier Jan 2021 than they had the whole of 2020, because honestly the expectations were huge coming into the new year. People thought that old problems will be forgotten and will dissolve with the coming of the new year, but that didn't happen, and and I think the the prospect of a new year and not moving ahead in life is very daunting, and that's what is ailing a lot of people. That must have struck a lot of people, and I think as we go into February, March, and we'll be able to just ease into this new year and just relax a bit more as the 1 year anniversary of the COVID-19 comes up, which is not a very happy anniversary to be celebrated about. But all all being said, there will be people who will be cutting uh, corona shaped cakes in March, and that is a given. That is bound to happen, and like I can see it coming from the first week of Feb itself. And uh, that is, I'm not going to say that, uh, but I said it. Uh, in other sports, yes, haven't talked about the Premier League at all, where Manchester City is just holding an impressive lead over the rest of the pack, and it has a nice 10-point advantage over Liverpool, who are the next title challengers. Because in between of them, Liverpool is at fourth, and Manchester City is at first. Uh, and in between they have Manchester United and Leicester City, who I don't feel are title challengers. They are just title pretenders at the best. But Liverpool and Manchester City, it has always been a fight between these two. So Manchester City has amassed a lead of 10 points over Liverpool with a game in hand. So that's hugely impressive on the back of 11 consecutive Premier Leagues and 15 consecutive wins overall. So that's just phenomenal form for Manchester City, and they are just riding that purple patch very well. And in other results, Chelsea has been upward on the form ever since the arrival of Thomas Tuchel from Paris Saint-Germain. Um, since they sacked Frank Lampard, which many Chelsea loyalists still claim that was not a good decision, and they should have persisted with Frank Lampard, given what he achieved with the team in the previous season, given the transfer ban, and given how Frank Lampard really worked around with the squad and got them to fourth, has gotten them to Champions League. Um, Thomas Tuchel is onto a good start now on the back of three consecutive wins. and he started with a draw, but now he has 3 wins on the trot against three teams, and the latest one being against Sheffield United, which was a 2-1 victory. Um, let's see how Thomas Tuchel fares. He has got Chelsea back into the European reckoning. He has got them into the fifth spot, and given Liverpool and Manchester United's sloppy form, Chelsea could be pushing up to as high as second in the coming weeks. Everyone will be really really excited to see that. And Leeds United, my favorite neutral team, as always, has a great chance to foray into the top half of the Premier League table tonight as they face Crystal Palace, because um, because the only spot that is up for grabs is the 10th spot that Arsenal had, which they lost due to losing to Aston Villa this week, and all the teams in the top of the bottom half are have except Leeds have lost points this week, namely Southampton, Brighton, Burnley, and Wolves. And the only one that remains is Crystal Palace, whom Leeds will be facing tonight in the reverse fixture at Ellen Road. They didn't have a very good outing at Selhurst Park when they last met them in November, where Palace had a very anticlimactic 4-1 win over Leeds United. There were a lot of controversial decisions in that match, namely the Patrick Bamford offside goal, where uh, he was declared offside for having an arm stuck out of the offside marked line. It was shown that his part of his arm was outside the line, and that is why the goal was not given, which was a ridiculous decision, and which there have been a lot of ridiculous VAR decisions in this season, and hopefully they'll be working on the uh, on the technology better this year, because as Mulholland rightly pointed it out, that it really takes away the joy of the game. That when a goal is scored, you should be celebrating, but on the contrary, now you are now just waiting. Is it offside? Is it not offside? You're just waiting for the goal to be confirmed, and then you just let out the sigh of relief. Okay, it's a goal, or it's not a goal against us. So that is really killing football, as a lot of pundits also have been putting it. That if you um, want to introduce VAR, it has to be in a better way. For me, it has to be something as quick as the bales lighting up in cricket. As and when there is contact with the stumps, the bales light up, and that is when you know that the wicket has fallen. If the bales light up, the wicket has fallen. So that could be done now also in football, where the goalpost is lined with light, so that whenever the ball crosses the line, the goal line, the the goal lights up, or it or when an offside goal has been scored, it lights up in a different situation. It lights up in a different manner, or there could be lights on the either end of the touch line, where which could light up as soon as an goal is scored. So you would need a bit of long distance sensors for that. I think it would be safe to say that where in a generation where we are driving self-driven cars, we should be able to assess the game with that kind of a goal line technology. So I've been rambling on about almost 30 minutes now, and it's getting a little bit problematic. I'll be quitting for today, and hopefully, we'll be seeing you guys back tomorrow with another episode of the Pomodoro, where we attempt to speak in English for 30 minutes straight. I really was a bit rusty when I came into it today, but as I move out, I'm a bit more comfortable, and I'll be getting more and more comfortable. I hope so in the coming days and in the coming sessions. So thank you for staying here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.